Širdies, kraujagyslių ligų prevencija. Pagal KINų vaizdinių mediciną. Viskas yra energija. Kągi, mėlyjei, tęsėme mūsų pokalbius apie sveikatą. Iš esmės, nes jeigu mes neturim sveikatos, iš tikrųjų mūsų galimybės labai sumažėja. Taigi, tęsėme pokalbius apie vandenio epochos sąmonės šviesą ir tyrinėjame, nuo ko priklauso sveikata fizinė, energija, stiprus imunitetas, optimali mityba, išorinis ir vidinis grožis, geras miegas, sąmoningumas ir stipri, žinoma, dvasia. Taigi, mano vardas Vytenis Sinkevičius, esu vyrų klubo Šviesos karys įkūrėjas, Astro Qigong sveikas žmogus, trigubo imuniteto galia, sistemų autorius, bendraautorius. Ir šiandien mes turime svečią JEKATERINA KRYLOVA. Tai vaizdinių terapeutė, kinų medicinos gydytoja. Teko susipažinti su Jekaterina dar Kundavėlėje, kuomet mokinausi pas meistrą Somintaną. Tikrai, reikia pripažinti, kad, kaip mano bičiulis Martinas iš Slovakijos sako, aš gimiau Slovakijoje, bet mane pagamino Kundavėlėje. Tai aš taip pat galiu pasakyti, gimiau aš Lietuvoje, bet mane aktyvavo Kundavėlėje. Taigi labai esame dėkingi meistrui Somintanui už žinias, už tai, ką mes šiai dienai turime. Tai daug įvairių meistrų ir dėl to galime dabar praturtinti dar labiau mūsų visus, pasidalindami jų patirtimi, nes kiekvienas jau iš meistro Somintano mokinių yra sukaupęs didžiulę patirtį, taip kaip mūsų šio vakaro svečias. Добрый вечер. Так как будем говорить, по-английски или по-русски?
Давайте попробуем по-английски.
Хорошо, хорошо. Хорошо, так я вас представлю. So I introduced you. So if you could kindly please tell me your story. How did you started image medicine? How did you started Junior on Qigong? Because it's not easy. It's not easy lifestyle to help people, heal people. Teach people. So please tell me more about yourself, because some of our listeners they might be professional in some field, but some they might still think that, well, image medicine, third eye, diagnostics, and healing by hands, it's a bit fantasy style for them. So please tell me more about yourself. How did you got introduced to image medicine?
Okay, so I just saw some amazing photos and some photos from like retreats from China. It was not Shaolin, but other place. And I also saw some people who already not in this world, they are passed away, but still I feel that great, respect to them and memories, that like warm memories, because I was in this field like Zhongyuan Qigong and image medicine more than like around 20 years. So I don't look like I'm like very old, but I started to practice Qigong in very, very young age. Like when I was 12 years old, my mother, she introduced me to Qigong practice because she had some problems, some issue with her health. She had an operation connected with the gynecology problem. And then she started to have a lot of problems like depression, chronic fatigue, and she started to search something for herself which can help her. But that was like early 90s, and it was not really many like stuff or like information about how you can help yourself. And she found out the Professor Sumintan, at that time I lived in Moldova, Chisinau. I was born there. So Professor Sumintan, in like beginning of 90s, he came to this city, and my mom, she wanted to, like, she was like interested in something, like something which can help her. Maybe it doesn't mean she was searching something for spiritual development, but she was searching something which can help her to feel like better, because when you don't feel okay, so that influence of to your quality of your life, your kids, your relationship with your husband, your work. So she's been searching, and when she met Professor Sumintan first time, she realized this is what she's been looking for. Very simple method, but very effective one. And during the first class, she really felt that that works for her, and she started to practice. And then slowly she introduced this Zhongyuan Qigong, this method, to my karate teacher. At that time, I've been practicing karate. Yes, and yeah, she was a very clever woman. She wanted me and my younger brother to learn something which she is learning, but we, like, kids never listen to their parents. That's why she found out the person which we liked him, we admired him. He was our like teacher and of material arts, and she like introduced to him Professor Sumintan and Zhongyuan Qigong, and he tried and he liked it. And like 3 times per week after karate class, we had like 15 20 minutes of like quiet meditation class, and that was quite often. And yes, and like time to time I started to practice it, because at home my mom practiced, at karate class my coach was like practicing. So it was, she created that like perfect atmosphere, just you couldn't just escape, you will be like practicing. And then I was like why I started to practice when I was like so young. I didn't have problems with my health. I didn't I didn't want to have some spiritual like development. I've been thinking like that. So okay, so you know, some people, like some kids, very smart, or someone is like very beautiful, but I'm not too smart, not too beautiful. I need to find something which other kids don't have. And I like realized this will be like my secret. And with this secret, I can like get more, how to say, like knowledge, wisdom, and a little bit power, so I can be much more stronger. And because I was kind of a little warrior, when you're like training in like sport field, you want to achieve some goals. That was my motivation why I started to practice Qigong. And yes, since that, I started to think about how is Qigong in China? Because when you live not in China and you're listening stories about Chinese Qigong or Gong Fu or some masters, it's like a like fairy tale story, and it's so, you know, you like to listen that. But when, you know, I started to think how Qigong in China is, and when I was like 14 years old, Professor Sumintan came again to Moldova, Chisinau. And I remember I told to my father that I really want to meet Sumintan one day and tell him about my ideas. At that time, I've been practicing already like 2 years, and some kind of transformation appears in me, and I wanted to help everyone, like people who are living on the streets, like old people, you know, just. And he told me like write a letter to him. And I said, like, on what language? He said, like, in Russian. And I said, like, but he maybe couldn't read. And he said, who cares, you just try. And I really did. I remember I sat down, I started to write the letter to him, and I've been crying. I don't know why. Maybe I was so nervous because, you are still little one and you're like writing the letter to a very big master. And of course, I knew, like 99%, I knew that he will not read it because it's like so many people was giving him some like small pieces of paper with like some, questions about many stuff. And I wrote quite a lot. I mean, like it was like few lists of like paper. So, and I had put on the table, and on next day he called me. I mean, not he, but the manager from the hotel where he lived. And yeah, he invited me to come to his like hotel, and we had conversation. He asked me, is it me who wrote this letter? I said yes. And he said, what you know? I said, like, I don't know, like nothing. I don't know how to heal people, but I learned from Qigong a little bit how to diagnose the organs, like, for example, with the hand, heart, kidneys. He lied down and said, like, try on me. I've been really crazy, scary, because, me, 14 years old and Grandmaster Simontan, I don't remember what I felt. I was like really shaking. But he said, like, yeah, you diagnosed me right. I think he was just too polite, and he saw that I was like, my face was red. Yes. And then he said, like, bye-bye. I like wish you good luck. And that's it. And then when I was like 16 years old, I started to really seriously practice Qigong because I felt that I want to change something, but I didn't know what I want to change. And if you don't know what to change in your life, it's a best time to meditate, like deeply meditate, just to see how the life will like turn you to what direction. And yeah, I remember I've been like fasting for like long time and like practicing 24 hours, like non-stop. My grandparents was thinking that something weird with me because I like to eat, but then suddenly I stopped. I ate, but very little amount. And like into like maybe 1 month after my practice, Professor Simontan emailed me and he invited me to come to Shaolin. It was like 2000 year just to attend his retreat, and was my biggest dream ever. It was my dream, and for me it was kind of like to fly to space somewhere with Elon Musk, that kind of big dream, which I thought that I will never realize it. And yes, I packed my bags in like 3 days, maybe shorter, and I flight with one of my mom friend. She was instructor from Kyiv. She's a very like talented like practitioner and like Buddhism teacher. So yeah, with her I came, and then my life started. Yes, I practiced for like 1 month in Shaolin monastery with Master Simontan and with other students, like really deeply, seriously, professionally. And then my body has been transformed really like strongly. And when I had a conversation with Master, he saw it and he asked me if I want to try to stay in China and maybe learn some Chinese, and if will be not difficult for me to live there, and if I will continue to want to like practice Qigong, so I can continue. So I said, let's try. Like I stayed for like 6 months and I started to learn Chinese. Of course, I didn't think about that I will learn image medicine or any medicine, because my motivation was I want to practice Qigong just to understand something like myself, or just like I was in this kind of like transformation process. I like that, it was kind of like a sport for me, I had a goal, I want to achieve it. And he told me that it's like no university in China only for Qigong department. He said, if you want to be professional in Qigong field, you still need to get your diploma, your education. And he introduced me traditional Chinese medical university in Beijing. This is like the toppest university in China of traditional Chinese medicine. And we had classes of Qigong there. So in my diploma, I have like a Qigong also as well. So, and yes, I mean, I never wanted to be like traditional Chinese doctor who are doing the acupuncture, cupping. But at that time, you know, they said it's like only option. And first few months, I lived in Chinese family, and the lady who like invited me to her family, she was the acupuncturist. She worked 6 months in Kyiv, 6 months she stayed in Beijing. So I lived in her family, and step by step, I saw how she is working, how she is curing other people, sometimes her friends at home. And I started to like acupuncture, like Chinese medicine, because it was not really mystical. It was at home, you know, very homey, like atmosphere, because Chinese medicine is part of Chinese people culture. It's like there's mentality. It's nothing extraordinary. And yes, like in in 1 year after I lived in China, I passed exams, and I started to learn Chinese medicine. And how I started to practice image medicine, it was also difficult to say, you know, just like in China, when you are living there, when you are studying there. So Chinese medicine in China, it's like knowledge goes from one generation to another generation. And it's like in my institute, all my classmates was from traditional Chinese medicine family. So the fathers, grandfathers, mom, so there was not like, I want to learn Chinese medicine. No one do that in China. But I was like this. That's why at that time, Professor Sumentan lived in United States, in Seattle, and he opened his clinic in 2000. So he'd been visiting China only twice in a year, during the Chinese New Year and during the summertime when he was organizing the Shaolin retreat. So, and every time when he was visiting China, he met me, and he'd been healing the patients, and he was like saying to me, like, go make the diagnosis. And I kind of, you know how to do it, but wasn't really sure that I can do it, because of course we've been meditating, we know how to do it, but like technically, you know, but am I like really can see something? It was always for me kind of like a big question. I really believe that people can see the like internal organs, they can see energy, but I've been thinking about that. I can't, not like I can't, but for example, when we see something, the images of the internal organs, they are completely different compared to the like organs which we see with our like common eyes. That's why, yes, he pushed me just to do diagnosis, and I was really scary. And because at that time, I diagnosed the top doctors of Chinese medicine, or some people who are really into like Qigong or some Chinese metaphysics, big, you know, professors. And I was like 17, like 18 years old. But maybe they were so polite, and they were saying, yes, you did the right diagnosis. And they also showed me their technique, how they diagnose, also very interesting. And I can say I live in this environment where everything was kind of like, you know, in Chinese kung fu movies, you know, like everyone is a master shifu. And yeah, little by little, I was thinking this is like a standard, like the normal life. Yes, and then little by little, I started to learn from like Sumentan, from some like experiences. I think Sumentan didn't teach me exactly, for example, at the beginning, how to work with the disease, but he just was pushing me to get more experience with the diagnosis, with the healing, not like, okay, so because he always saying, so Chinese medicine, no matter which one is, for example, Asian Chinese medicine or modern Chinese medicine, it's all about clinical experience. It's of course we need to have a knowledge, but when it's like when you're cooking something, yeah, you just go to the kitchen and you try a little bit some spices. You saw how your, for example, mom did, so you are doing the same way. But if you are not doing it, you're only like learning, so it's like zero, like zero effect. That's why his way of teaching is like he's pushing you to do. Of course, you have some knowledge, like some basic knowledge, but yes, and I did it again, and again, and like I don't know, like after the graduation of traditional Chinese medical university, I realized that okay, I'm ready to be image therapist, but still I was really worried that I'm a little bit introvert person, and for me it was very difficult to communicate with the people because I got the education in traditional Chinese medicine field, and it's a little bit like more well known in the world, like it's a brand, like acupuncture, tuna massage, but image medicine, it's not really well known everywhere, and image medicine, it's much deeper, much like than modern traditional Chinese medicine. And I was thinking, how can I say something personal to some strangers, how they will like understand it, how they can accept this kind of information. And I really a long time didn't want to work with the people who I don't know. It was quite a big stress. But then little by little I just work with myself. Of course, like I not prayed, but try to be not afraid, and I started to work with more and more people, and I'm understood that image medicine works in every level. For example, when you, for example, don't see something and are well, or when you don't feel something and are well, only with the experience you start to understand better and better the real essence of Asian Chinese medicine, that it really works, and it only takes a little bit time just to be more confident in what you are doing. This is like a long story short.
Very good, very good. Amazing story. I am very fond of listening, but we have a limited time, and it looks like a destiny with a comparison with curiosity and well, your will to help people. That's where you are. You are helping people. You could learn from the best in this field. So amazing story, and amazing value that you created during the years, and now you can share. You got the knowledge, and now you can share with us, like you are doing it now. So you said that image medicine is a bit different than Chinese medicine. When I remember now, when I was in Kundavel, and that's where we met, actually, in Beijing, China, Kundavel. So it was something magical about that time, as far as I remember. How we learned we got introduced to Chinese medicine. It's about this pretty basic, but when we started to go deeper into image medicine. So could you describe, we have to start our topic about cardiovascular diseases, and how we could, how could image medicine help to prevent, how could people practice maybe for themselves and to prevent those diseases, because in Lithuania we've got a big crisis. Like 48% people are dying every year from cardiovascular heart and cardiovascular diseases. So if we could make that statistics better, it would be a great value. And we know that you are coming to Lithuania this month, later this month. And for some who would like to know more about image medicine, they can do it there, go to the course and learn more about this technique. So please just describe with maybe a few words what's the difference between Chinese medicine and image medicine.
Okay, so it's actually so image medicine, it's a Asian Chinese medicine. But Chinese medicine, we call it traditional Chinese medicine. What does it mean, traditional? Traditional, it's not Asian. It's like traditions are like developing with the time changes. That's why Professor Sumintan, he's saying like image medicine, we are not calling traditional Chinese medicine. We are calling it Asian Chinese medicine. What's the difference between Asian Chinese medicine and traditional Chinese medicine? So basically, traditional Chinese medicine started to develop from like 60s years, like Mao Zedong, a period of time when he didn't like the people who had like extra like gifts. But before, it was like really Asian way, like old way to cure people. So like hundreds like years ago, before like 60s, the people, when they was working with the health, with the well-being, they was at the same time the practitioner. They've been meditating, they've been opening theirs like some extra abilities, for example, hand sensitivity, or they could understand a little bit better what does it mean disorder, what does it mean like disease, or what does it mean health standard. But from 60s years, when like communism party came to China, like many monasteries was like closed, and people with like gifted people was also like they was not welcome at that time. That's
You're
why
talking about the cultural revolution.
Yes, it was a cultural like revolution. That's why from 60s years, traditional Chinese medicine became very like you shouldn't train your sensitivity. You just learn from others people, doctors' experience, like only like remembering how to cure, how to diagnose, and that's it. So you are only healing or working with the patients only according the knowledge, not according your for example abilities. But before, so the Chinese doctor was like a practitioner, because what does it mean Chinese medicine? Chinese medicine bases on qi concept. We even don't translate into energy, because energy and qi, it's like it's same but also not the same. That's why we are calling Chinese medicine belong to qi concept. But how modern doctors in our day who are learning Chinese medicine, for example, acupuncture, herbal medicine, like for example, tuna massage, they learn the meridians name, the like points name, they know how organs connected with each other, but they don't understand the real essence of Chinese medicine. You need feel the energy or qi. You need try to understand it from your experience, not only from 100,000 years ago other people experience. you need at least try to understand how it works, not only believe to the, experiences of other people. This is the most important difference. And also, I can share the some presentation. So
Sure.
So this is this is Chinese, Asian Chinese medicine or image medicine, basis on a life model, which are three parts. It's a physical body, qi, and spirit or informational part. So in traditional Chinese medicine, all these three parts exist, but in this kind of way, you will never understand it, because even the teachers who are teaching this discipline in universities, they have no experience into qi field, into informational field. They are only staying on physical, meta field, for example, something which you can learn, something which you can touch. This is what traditional Chinese medicine right now, but we are learning the Asian one, how Asian doctors hundreds years ago, how they used Chinese medicine. This is the differences, the big differences.
Okay, very good. Now, if you could please tell us how could image medicine help, or let's say maybe help to prevent heart and cardiovascular diseases? What's the most effective maybe method to prevent heart and cardiovascular diseases using maybe together Chinese medicine and image medicine?
Yes. So why we are talking about cardiovascular diseases? Because yes, it's very common problem. So many people are dying because of this problem, but also in image medicine, this kind of problem really we can solve quite easily, really. And the question why, it's easy to understand why. Because we said okay, we are not talking about physical stuff, we are not talking about spiritual or informational part, but we are talking about qi part. Qi belongs to Chinese medicine, no matter which one, Asian Chinese medicine or modern time Chinese medicine. So in Chinese medicine, they have this kind of concept qi belong to something invisible, what we couldn't see, but some people can feel it when they are practicing. And the blood belongs to something, substance, which we can see, we can try. And qi, energy, and the blood flows in one kind of channel. Of course, it's vessels in our body, and the channels, meridians in our body, they can have a different way, but still energy or qi inside the human's body, everywhere, of course, in organs, but mostly when we are start to cure or work with some disease. So we are working with the blood circulation. So for the beginners, or when we start to do some preventional treatment, we start to increase or just to work with the blood circulation, because so many problems are connected with the problems with the vessels, with the blood circulation, with the different stagnation in the vessels. And Chinese medicine says, so blood goes together with the qi. So blood fluid goes together with the qi fluid. And when we are working with the channels, with the meridians, we are also working with the blood circulation. And
so we increase the qi circulation, and that's how we could get better our blood circulation, and
Yes,
mainly
this is the same. This is the same. To be honest, when the people who comes to me and they don't understand like anything about chi, I'm only using the blood circulation words, because this is basically the same. When you let chi circulate better in your body, that means the blood circulates also much better, much faster. This is one thing. And also when we are working with for example, in image medicine, we have technique how can we regenerate internal organs cells. For example, here we see the heart. Yes, in traditional Chinese medicine, we can only regenerate the cells through the channel, but not directly through the, we need to really work a lot with the points, but we, traditional Chinese medicine, never work directly with the cells of the organs. But image medicine has the technique how we can activate some lazy cells, which are not dead cells, but not active cells of the internal organs. And I have quite a lot experiences. Like my first goal when I was 20 something years old, I remember one of my patients had serious heart problem, and he planned to make the surgery. And at that time, I really wasn't much experienced in treatment of image medicine. I only could diagnose some, differences between temperature. Of course, I could see something, but I wasn't confident in what I see. I was confident in what I feel. And I remember when I started to diagnose his heart, I found out with my hand that the heart area is very, very cold. What does it mean, cold? So of course our body's temperature 36.6, but when we are talking about the functions of the organs, it's very belong to chi field. And when the person have some chronic problem of internal organs, for example heart, very often we can find out some cold or cool spots on the chest area. And of course, we will learn and train our hands for this kind of diagnosis. To be honest, it's not difficult at all, because this is everyone's ability. So we have a tongue. So some people's tongue are more sensitive to, they, for example, wine diagnosis can tastes better, for example, the wine, but some people not. It's all about training. So every human have a hands. Yes, most of the people have hands. So, and the sensitivity of the hand, it's not difficult to develop. It's voice, tongue, or other stuff. So as we said, so chi and blood are very connected. This is like two siblings which are never going apart. So we have the exercise or the method how we can activate or wake up chi or stagnated chi, some blockages. So the stagnated chi it's a stagnated blood areas in the in some arteries, in some vessels, in a heart area, in other organs area. And when we start to activate it, so that lazy cells start to be more awakened, and they start to be more alive, and the blood circulation it becomes better. And the most important, the self-regeneration process will restart. So what we are doing with the help of image medicine, we can do regeneration, cells regeneration, process, or we kind of like restarting or let the organs do like how to say my English a little bit. It's like the organs start to work better because we are opening some stagnated areas of chi. So this is this kind of method. And here, so like 2 weeks ago, I've been working with one of my patient, young boy. He had a like serious problem with the heart. I started to work with him in March, and we had a meeting every week, once in a week. The treatment was like only 1 hour, and like his mom texted to me that last year the doctor said that that boy needs defibrillator implantation, so this machine, this thing, but now it's like he don't need it. And I said, like, they're great, so we will continue work. And that doesn't mean that I have the ability to cure the problems with the cardiovascular like disease. It's like really simple way how many students can learn the method and how they can use with the like you know, people like homies, friends, relatives, because it's if it's not something which difficult to do. I can explain very easily. For example, when we have like muscle pain, for example, shoulder pain, we start to massage it. Yes. So when we are massaging the shoulders, so the blood circulation like start to be better, and we feel like muscle are not that like stiff, not that hard, and yeah, we feel like release, muscle relief. So the heart, also the muscle, but we are never massaging the heart. Yes. So when the person is dying, we start to do like heart massage. Yes, but usually never. And in Chinese medicine also this kind of like rule, if the person feel pain, that means in this area qi and blood stagnation. And usually when we are feeling pain, what we are taking the painkillers, or we are drinking something like herbal tea or something stronger which can maybe like help us. But everything what we are taking inside, it goes through digestion system. It's like takes time, long time. But of course, some strong medicine we can put under the tongue, and the like heart pain can release. But usually in image medicine, we use hands, and we learn the areas how we can activate the qi circulation. For example, if the person have some, for example, problem with the heart, not serious one. Now we are not talking about some like dangerous cases, because during my seminar I'm always explaining many details. For example, how we can safely use image medicine at home if we are not professional doctors. First, the most important, it's like if the patient has some problem with the heart, for example, heart rate is too fast, or like time to time we feel like pain, or sometimes people have like anxiety or panic attack, and after that the heart rate starts to be very, very fast. First of all, it's like very simple exercise. Of course, I know that many people are watching us, the people who know image medicine and the people who don't know image medicine. So we are doing this very like what we are doing. First, we put the hand on the heart area, and here the chest. Yes, you see the chest. So the middle part of the chest here is easy to find some, you know, areas which usually people can feel it, like sore pain or like discomfort, and we can like massage it just a little bit. But when we are massaging it, we are putting our like mind on this area. So our mind are very connected also with the chi circulation, with the energy circulation. And when we start to slightly pet this area, when we are petting it, we also thinking about this area, how it works. So image medicine, it's a combination between physical, material aspect, energy, and information. Our mind belongs to energy and also belong to information. And when you put your mind to the area where you feel pain or discomfort, so the energy starts to circulate much faster, better. Plus you're using like physical, it's like slightly like massage or clockwise you circulate. So it really can make the blood circulation, the chi circulation flows better. And also one area is the side of the like close to the ribs, also this kind of area. Usually the people who have problem with the heart, if you will put your hand here and will wait for like few minutes, you will feel how the cool, something cool from its inside will comes out. For example, like we put the hand on a refrigerator and we start to feel it's cool, yes? So here the same, but don't be skeptical about that, just try it. So you put the hand here and also wait for a few seconds, and then if you feel cool or like for example too warm, something like feeling, you also start with your fingertips like massage it, and also put your mindset on this area. Here don't need to pet, only slightly massage it. And also we like image medicine are still Chinese medicine, and we are also using the same points, the same meridians, the same like basis as in Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine. And also here, without like two nipples in the middle. So here's also very important area, and we are massaging it from up to down with two fingers like this, massaging like so the blood circulation starts to flow better, and also chi circulation starts to flow better. And then you will feel like your chest is not like it's not like squeezing feeling, but you will feel like you can breathe more easily. So this is the information for the people who have like zero knowledge about image medicine. But for example, in in a plane, or when you are very nervous or you are taking some medicine, you just try to feel these three area and just like try to use this kind of technique. Maybe it will work for you. If not, so you can learn it and just explore it. I just want to tell about, I have so many patients which are really like not into Chinese medicine, not into Qigong, and they are saying like, I'm really not into this kind of like discipline. I said, okay, if you don't understand it, that doesn't mean this is not work. You need to learn it, you need to try it, you need to just be more educated in this, and then you will have your opinion. Does it work or does it not work? So we need to try, then we will realize how it works.
Very good. And usually for myself, I'm all the time telling to my patients that the heart is the muscle. And like all the muscles, it has to work. And blood circulation is very important to the muscles. And if there's a bad circulation, you're going to get pain. And if you're gonna get bad blood circulation in the heart, such a complex muscle, to be honest, so it's gonna be a problem. So what I made out from what we just spoke, that we need to increase circulation
Yes.
because if we increase our energy circulation, it will increase blood circulation, and then we can use massage technique, and we can combine some acupuncture points, some active points from Chinese medicine, and we can massage them. But in image medicine, what's the difference between the massage and image medicine? So if we do massage, we put the mind in that area, and we are of course looking at the image, and we can go very deep with our massage, and then we can do regeneration to kind of kick off those sleeping cells in our organs to make them work. And this is a regeneration technique, and the cold energy is probably our worst enemy, and we need to learn how to take out the cold energy. And sometimes patients, then I work with the heart, they feel cold, like some cold that just got out of their heart, and now they feel that cold actually after therapy sometimes. So it's very important, very interesting, the cold actual aspect. We could talk now about that. Let's say the cold that we breathe, the cold, and it gets into your lungs, and then we are saying we got the cold, and we start to cough, and some stuff come out from our nose, right? And we've got a cold. And there's some special subtle cold that lives inside of organs. And image therapy, as far as I got through those years of experience, that is very effective technique to get out that cold out of the organs, that makes those cells sleepy, and then the circulation starts to slow down in the organ, and that you can't let that happen, because if circulation is slowing down, or there's some blockage in your shoulders, it's just a pain. But if the circulation stops in the organ, well, that can end up very badly. Okay. Very interesting. So we should
Close to finish line.
Some finish line maybe. What could you maybe could you say could you tell some kind of meditation, because we do a lot of meditation in image medicine, because it's very connected to Junyan Qigong, right? And we've got our all abilities that we are using in image medicine, we are getting from the practice of Junyan Qigong practice. So what kind of meditative practice could you maybe suggest for people that would like to make their heart work better for them?
Oh, I have an excellent exercise for that. And I really wanted to tell that image medicine, it's not only about how to cure people or how to work with some disease. It's very important for the people who are really meditating, like any meditation. For example, image medicine is like a university for practitioners, because all practitioners, like in ancient China, they had ability to cure people, but like work with the people. Not everyone was a famous doctor, but if you maybe saw some like movies of big master of Kung Fu, and someone was sick, they can put like the hand or give the herb or just press the point, and the person was alive. This is the university. Why? Because when we are learning Chinese image medicine, Asian Chinese medicine, so we are learning how to combine physical, energy, and spiritual in like one power. For example, no matter who you are, for example, you are only interested in meditation, but this cooperation between the mind force, your energy, and hand, the physical part. This is what you can develop in image medicine aspect. Maybe you will not work with the people, maybe you can also help yourself, but also as a practitioner of practitioner in any field, like Zhongyuan Qigong or other meditation, our problems stop us to be more into deeper meditation, our health issue. And when we understand how can we unblock it, so it's easy for us to meditate more deeply, more professionally. And if someone will need our help, we can use it also without big stress, because we trained the unification of mind power, hand power, and heart power, one and physical hand, because usually we work with the hand, but sometimes we also can work without hand also as well. And I want to share some very good exercise which Professor Sumintan was giving to his Chinese students, because I speak Chinese, and sometimes I also watch some lectures for Chinese students. And one exercise is very effective. I also use sometimes to my patients, which have very not calm mind, because mind and heart are very connected. And many people have problems with the heart, and as well they have problem with the mind, or mental health, that to worry about stuff, they couldn't sleep, many problems. And when they are lying down and I start to do my preventional treatment or just do some technique with them, I feel like they are overthinking. And for the best result, you need to let your patient or someone to fully calm down. And I let them do one exercise. The exercise is like this. You need to close your eyes, look at your eyes, and imagine the heart, like red heart. It doesn't matter that you need to see the red color or you need to imagine the physical heart. No, you're only putting your mindset on the heart, and you're just trying to imagine it like red color. And then you need to imagine the field around the heart, also red color. And then you are with your mind only focusing on the field, which are rotating clockwise like this. So like this, only putting your mindset on a red field around the heart. Yes, you can close your eyes and just do it. And in Chinese, we have this kind of Chinese word, which it's like zhuan. Zhuan means rotate. But you can not pronounce anything. You only with your mind trying to imagine the fields which are red color and just doing this kind of rotation clockwise. And even some people who never ever practiced Qigong in their life, they said to me, I don't see red color. I said, what color you see? I see dark color. I said, great, you have your pineal gland are active. And they said, what? I said, pineal gland, this is the organ which are very sensitive to the energy. And that means that you are very talented and you need to keep going. So this is the exercise which you can practice, and you will feel and see how your emotions will be much better, especially during this dark time of the year in Lithuanian, Latvian, Estonia, three Baltic countries. And you will feel really your heart becomes stronger, and you physically will feel much more.
One more thing. So we imagine the heart, red color.
Yes.
And the clockwise from my point of view, clockwise.
No. We need to imagine first the heart and then the field, polya,
Yes.
the field around the heart. So after we forget about the heart, only concentrating on the field imagination. And here, so like clockwise, yes, like clockwise rotation. Like, I mean, my side is from right to left. So
From
here.
right to left.
Yes, it's like clockwise, yeah, по часовой стрелке. So this is like a very good exercise which can really help with some like cardiovascular problem and also stimulate the emotional field. This is like this technique Master Sumindan wasn't giving to Europeans students, but was given to Chinese students.
I never heard about this technique. Very good technique. I like it very much myself. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so if anybody wants to ask questions, they can write on comments, and if we will answer later on. If we want get those questions now. If we want to ask any questions, please do it now. And if not, just if you're too shy, so just write a comment, and then we will answer later on. Anyway, so I thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ekaterina, for your experience. I liked your story. I never heard your story actually, and it was I was so excited to hear your story. And of course, we all the time we remember our story as well, and it's so. Probably what I would like to share just a little bit. All those years that I spent in this life, I started to live my life. Then I discover myself, my true self. But to discover the true self, it was only with those techniques that I learned from Master Sumintan and in Kundavel. I learned the other techniques of meditation and spiritual practices myself. I'm an artist from my first education. I have got MA in arts, so my imagination is quite strong. But still, what I learned from Master Sumintan and in Kundavel and from the colleagues like you, I can't compare with anything. It's so unique. Experiences is so strong and so deep, and you really get those abilities that you are saying. And maybe some people, they think that maybe we fantasize a bit, but that's true abilities that you can develop practicing Junior and Qigong. And if you want to go deeper in medicine to help yourself and your close ones, family members, and you have a gift, maybe if you feel like you want to help people, you definitely should do it. You definitely should start practicing Junior and Qigong and image medicine, because even psychiatrists actually now, they are saying that the strongest method to influence people's mind is image, through image. And if we could remember even Jesus Christ, and he was telling a story, telling something, he was telling a story, and that story got the image, had image in it, so it's very easy to understand the image. And our body and our subtle body, it catch up the image so quickly, then we transfer it with the mind. Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for your the things that you shared, and we are waiting for you in Vilnius. And anyone who wants to practice deeper and know more about image medicine, join us on this month, 25th, 26th, and 27th in Vilnius. And you can experience this method, this ancient method that we can practice straight away, because we don't need any technology, everything is in here. So we just need to unleash that power, and image medicine helps to do it, to discover your true self, and master those universal energies that are locked in us. Some kind of greetings to Lithuanian or people who are watching us? What could you wish for us?
I've been in your beautiful country once like it was before pandemia, I guess. Yes, and I really like it. And before, when I was in my early 20s, I visited also your country with Master Sumintan once. It was very short trip, and I wish everyone to be healthy, and I wish everyone can really take good care of yourself. This is the most important. If you can really take care of yourself, be physically strong, mentally strong, you can be more kind, you can be more you can understand better people, you can be more you can understand people's hearts. Sometimes maybe not very good person, he or she is very good inside, but you need just to just to see that seed inside him, something very good. But to see that, you need to have energy. That's why I wish you, and I really hope that every one of you will take a very good care of yourself and practice, and then you can spray the love, the light to everyone, and our world will be better. Because I don't believe in something which is not positive. I really believe no matter how difficult is the life or period of time. I remember once when I had the worst, I hope it was worst part of my life, I called to Master Sumintan and I asked him, I said why everything is so bad? And he said, it's only the line, and when it will go to finish, the bright side will appear. So let's be strong, let's take care of yourself. If you feel not good or you are feel good, still keep your energy, and I hope I will meet you soon, and we will have fun learning Asian Chinese medicine, and we will explore ourselves much better. And thank you so much for this podcast. This is my first experience. I've been a little bit nervous, and also in English first time.
Great.
But I really had a lot of fun, and I feel we can talk non-stop, but next time I hope. Thank you so much.
We can do more sessions and go deeper in some kind of practice of image medicine. So thank you, Ekaterina. See you soon in Lithuania, and take care. Don't overwork too much. Take care of yourself, and so we will meet you soon in Vilnius.
Yeah, I will also take care of myself, I promise, before I come to Vilnius. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah. Take care. Taigi, ačiū mėlyjei uždėmesį. Visi tie, kurie nori daugiau sužinoti apie vaizdinių mediciną, galite ateiti į seminarą. ir daugiau skirsime laiko CGU temom ir kinų vaizdinių medicinos temom, nes tai yra tikrai labai stiprios ir fundamentalios technikos. Ir jeigu turite kažkokių papildomų klausimų arba norite pasidaryti diagnostiką kinų vaizdinių medicinos, ar tai kažkokių kitų turite klausimų, visada galite kreiptis asmeniškai. Ir kągi, iki kitų susitikimų, mielieji. Iki.